So, Jay, I guess since you've been cutting, a question about cutting that I bet lots of people are wondering about, and I guess I ran into the same problem as I was bulked and I was strong as hell, and then when you cut, I felt like when I cut the whatever 20 something pounds that I did cut, I lost the strength, which is comes with the territory. It is what it is. But also I felt like I lost muscle for sure. So I guess what do you think is the best way to cut to make sure that you don't lose muscle? Because you lose strength for sure, but what about the muscle?
Well, you're gonna lose a little muscle or you think you'll lose muscle just because, let's say you're 200 pounds, you cut down to like 170, 180, right?
Yeah.
20, 30 pounds. You look, so you might look bigger just because all the fat's gone, your muscles show. But mentally, like me, I feel like I lost a little muscle as I lost weight as I'm cutting. Now you always want to take, I say, your cut slow. Like when I was cutting, I was only losing half a pound.
Yeah, same.
I didn't want to lose a whole pound or half a pound or a pound and a half. I was trying to do it slow and meticulously so I could still maintain strength, which I was. But at a certain point, you get leaner and leaner, or dropping weight, it's harder to bench. Your squats go down, my OHP was going down, everything was going down. I was looking better, but at strength, comes with the game, you're going to lose it. Now, muscle-wise, I don't feel like I lost muscle. I just feel smaller because I got used to being bigger. But muscle-wise, I think I maintained muscle that I gained during the bulk, so which was good.
Yeah.
So how much of a deficit you running, Jay? Like just like 200 calories or what?
Oh, when I was slowly doing it from my maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when you're cutting,
From there, I would just keep dropping carbs, but my body kind of stopped, so then I just stopped it. So I got up to like 3,600 calories, and then I just stopped it there, and I kept losing weight still. So no cardio, no nothing. I'm still losing weight, so which is good.
Okay.
Yeah, the way I cut, I guess, is I had to increase the deficit by after probably every few weeks because I felt like let's say when I was bulking, I was I don't know 36, 3,500 calories, maybe even more for the bulk, and then after that I kind of went to a maintenance, so I dropped it a little bit, but then I started cutting and I kept dropping my calories every few weeks, less and less and less and less, right? So I think that's the way to do it is to do it slow. But it was weird because when I got to my goal weight, which was like 182, I felt like some muscle loss for sure, and everything went down strength wise, but I also felt like depleted, and I felt like I lost some muscle. So in my mind, it kind of played trick on me. I was saying I don't even know if I want to bulk again, because if I spend all this time bulking, for 6 months, let's say you gain your 3, 4, or 5 pounds of muscle, and then you cut and you lose 3. It's just like you're always kind of taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or even 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. So what do you think, I guess, bulking and cutting diets versus just being at your natural weight and try to get bigger and stronger at that? What do you guys think about that?
I can't really speak for that because I haven't really tried it yet. I guess I'll tell you next year.
Yeah, because Howard, you're saying that all your life you kind of been at the same weight. You haven't really been cutting bulk, right? So
yes,
you're familiar.
I've never tried to manipulate my body in terms of either being in a deficit or in a surplus. I've always just been on kind of a bro diet and tried to eat enough calories that I would keep growing without thinking about adjusting my body shape. I kind of always just thought, okay, if I wanted to lean down, then I should do more cardio. Like I never took nutrition seriously enough to be able to try and kind of manipulate the shape of my body as much, and that's something I guess I'm trying to learn slowly and will only take really seriously next year, and be interested to see how that goes.
What about you, Jay?
What was the question again?
The question was, what do you think, I guess, is more beneficial, or what do you think the difference is between having a cutting and a bulking diet? Because the goal is, let's say, to get big and strong. So what's better, to be cutting and bulking all your life or your training life, or just kind of maintain a certain weight and just try to get strong certain weight and not try to manipulate it?
Okay, because let's say my first official bulk was like let's say almost 2 years ago, right? But all that before, I was always just maintaining my weight and was lean as I was trying to get, you know, more muscle and get stronger. That worked good. I was just impatient one time and I said, okay, let's do an official bulk. If I just stayed strong and just did what I was doing, just stay at the same weight and get stronger like that. It took longer, but it worked. It just takes longer because you can't have those extra calories in trying to get bigger, trying to get stronger quicker than you would if you're at a maintenance level and you kept growing. You'll grow, but you'll grow slowly, very slow. Like you won't even see it until a year down. You're like, oh, my body changed. But if you take an extreme bulk or just bulk or cut, then you'll see results quicker.
Yeah, I feel it.
So if I do it again, I would rather stay lean and just go from there.
Looks like Nate might be joining us. Finally.
Yeah, he sent me a message just now.
There he is. Thanks for coming by.
You on the train?
Where's it? He's on the bus or something.
What a bloody train.
What are you doing, man? Where are you? Why are you on the train?
I'm coming from London. You see?
Oh shit.
There's a bit of London for you. See it?
Yeah, we can see it, man. What were you doing?
Sorry, my evening got away with me. I do apologize.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Yo, we're talking right now about when you're training. You know, I guess all of us are kind of cutting, bulking, and playing around with our calories and stuff like that. But what do you think, Nate, versus like a person who doesn't change their weight, doesn't manipulate their weight, and they're just staying at the same weight, let's say 180 pounds, and then they stay at that and just train and try to get big at that, versus a person who's trying to cut and bulk? What do you think is more beneficial and why?
As in, when someone's just trying to maintain their weight entirely and not really.
Well, somebody trying to maintain
talking about
their
like
weight.
cutting and bulking.
Yeah, somebody trying to maintain their weight but still get bigger. Because some people do that, right? Some people just.
It wouldn't ever happen. I mean, I think there's a common misconception to the amount that you need in a surplus. Like I'm in a surplus even now in shape, so I think there's a misconception to how much you need to be in a surplus to gain any weight, and the common misconception is just get like super fat, which is obviously no good, right? So
yeah, but what if you stayed in a surplus, but like let's say, what's your calories right now, Nate? What's your macros?
25, something like that.
25. So do you think you could
25?
Do you think you could stay at 25 for the next 3 years and get bigger?
No, God no, because you would that small surplus would reach a max, because you would gain with that surplus. Then you would need to increase the small. I mean, you don't need to gain. You don't need to, but you would need to increase it over a set period of time once you've kind of reached what your body would have gained with that surplus.
Yeah, and I think that's why all of us are cutting and bulking, right? Because we do realize that.
I mean, I'm a big proponent of cutting and bulking, definitely. Like, I've done it in the past, and it works. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, you guys know that, right? You guys can be testament to cutting and bulking. It does work. But I think you reach a certain point where staying leaner would be better for lifestyle purposes. Like, your joint health's a little bit better when you're leaner. You tend to have a more stable strength when you're leaner, and your hormones have stabilized when you're leaner as well, but obviously not like super lean, so there's a limit.
Yeah, well, I guess another quick question, interesting question to you guys. Recently I've been training with this one guy. He's a bodybuilder, pro bodybuilder from like the 80s, I believe so he's an older guy, very intelligent.
Okay, yeah.
But he was saying that he rather eat a lot more, so have his nutrition like in a bigger surplus, and then do a lot more cardio to kind of even it out, rather than eat less, because he feels like by eating more your muscles and your body will use it up, and then if you have an excess you can always burn it up by cardio. What do you think about that? Because that was kind of new to me. I don't know.
Got me or anyone else? I don't want to just take over the convo.
Go ahead. All
You can
good.
make up a lost time, mate.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Like I said, I mean, I'm glad that you guys are still on. To be honest, I was a bit MIA. So, like I said, I do apologise. I mean, my opinions on that really, you know, you're talking about compensating for a massive surplus with excessive cardio, which why like. I mean, if you got the time in the day to do it, yeah, sure, I guess. But then the toss-up of that is the fact that your nervous system is going to be super stressed from the excessive cardio. So are you? I mean, it's one of those things that's like there's no definitive right or wrong because the variables are so like untrackable.
Yeah.
Because you could say, well, if you were to stop doing that, decrease your food, potentially your strength's going to be increased, right? Because your nervous system's not going to be super stressed from the excessive cardio.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things like, does it fit into your lifestyle? I mean, if it does, yeah, do it. But really, I mean, I wouldn't want to spend, I mean, I eat a lot of food anyway, and I try to eat as good quality food as possible, but I wouldn't want to spend like insane amounts of money on lots and lots of food if I don't have to. So that's also a toss-up, right? And I don't have the time either to do all that cardio. There's just I don't have the time. I'm not like super busy or hectic, but I prefer to do other stuff, you know.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys
And
think?
like as well, man. Like how would your nervous system be if you're doing all of that? Jesus.
Well,
It's
some
shocking.
people like do very light cardio, right? You can put a treadmill like on an incline, wear like hoodies and shit like that, and hats, and just walk. And some people can like lose massive amounts. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I mean, everybody is different, but
True.
I know exactly what you're saying, though.
I just hate cardio, so I would never do something like that. I'd rather eat less than do more cardio.
Yeah.
Hey yo, it's JPhysique. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Hey, no, so when I was let's say playing sports, right? I've been an athlete all my life, basketball. I would always do cardio. Like I would hop on a treadmill, I would run my sprints or whatever. I would always do that. And this is many years ago. This was in my 18, 19-year-old days. I would always do cardio, right? And we're lifting, whatever. I would never track what I ate. I was always staying lean. I would just, just because I did so much cardio. But now as I got older, I don't do cardio anymore. So, I don't know. I wouldn't do cardio every day. I'd rather take it away from food than do excessive cardio now.
Okay, so that leads me to the next question about, I guess, when you don't do a lot of cardio, let's say all you focus on is, whether you're doing bodybuilding, powerlifting, all you focus, let's talk about powerlifting real quick, because the reason why I'm personally not that attracted to powerlifting is, I mean, the strength gains and everything is great and it's awesome, but do you guys feel like these days a person is too limited with what they do? Like a general athlete that does lots of things, like a basketball player and a soccer player, and you do parkour and you do this and that, you're always evolving. Your body gets good at different things in life. So whether it's the zombie apocalypse hits, you guys are good, right? You're good. You can run, jump on roofs, do this, do that. But if you focus on only a couple things, you're straight up only getting good at 3 lifts or 4 lifts or 1 lift, whatever it is. Do you guys think that it's a little bit too limited and you could be really good at just 1 or 2 or 3 things, but if that's all you're good at, it defeats the purpose of being an athlete and a weight training and stuff like that?
It all depends on that person's goal, though. If they want, let's say, a natural disaster happens and you have to pull yourself from a building, can a 300-pound man really pull himself off the building? Like, it all depends on what you want to do. Now, if something happens, if you have an athlete background, it's just a plus, but you don't really, it depends on if you just want to look good, get stronger, or run fast, jump high. It all depends on your goal.
Yeah, well, I guess it's for strength, for health purposes, because to be the best powerlifter in the world, you most likely need to be fairly fat dude, right? Because, I mean, yes and no, but most of the strongest guys, they usually have a big gut and everything like that, which comes with...
What was it, Mariusz Pudanowski? He broke all of that trend, didn't he?
Yeah, he should
That guy
have.
absolutely broke that trend.
Right? But what I'm saying is probably that lifestyle is not the healthiest necessarily. So I know if you focus on the goal and that's all it is, it's it's simple. Yeah, you want to get strong at deadlifting, you have to do this, and that. But do you think you get too limited by a couple different lifts that you kind of neglect everything else, so you cannot do, I don't know, a bridge, like a bridge, some kind of yoga position or whatever? You get too stiff, too good at a couple things, but you suck at everything else. You feel like some people might get into that loop?
I think they probably would, but I mean, again, like JPhysique said, I think it much depends on your goals. I mean, I really like watching the powerlifters on YouTube. I'm a big fan of a lot of their channels. But if you look at somebody like Mark Bell or Bart Kwan, like I don't desire to have a body that looks like that. I would rather train like Chris Jones and look like Chris Jones, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that is because I want to be healthier or because I want to be more of an athlete, because I don't think being a bodybuilder is necessarily all that healthy or necessarily all that conducive to being any kind of an athlete. I actually think probably almost the reverse. I feel like when you train for bodybuilding, you actually lose a lot of endurance. Like I used to play like a lot of sports, and then as soon as I started doing weight training and stuff like that, all of my sports suffered pretty much. I just didn't have the same kind of endurance, the same kind of like long-term endurance. I couldn't sort of perform sports for long periods of time like I could before, just simply because I was carrying so much mass that I was just burning so much energy, so I get tired really, really quickly. But I mean, I prefer weight training, so it wasn't really a big loss.
Well, I guess when you think about what we're doing with our bodies, especially some bodybuilding training, we're kind of reverse engineering what God gave us, right, in some ways. So you get a tool that is fairly flexible, and you can do lots of different things with it, and you get it bigger in spots that is not really natural to do so. So you get stiffer, some joint pains and this and that, so you almost like reverse engineering what you meant to be like, right? Which is not a bad thing, because we're trying to be above average in some ways, but it's almost like we go below average in other things. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, and I think that certainly the way that you train bodybuilding, if you think about it in its simplest form, is that you're lifting a weight for a set number of reps, and you're basically training your body to do that. So it's kind of like, well, what if you were asked to do something that involved, the expenditure of that energy or the usage of that muscle for a period of longer than 45 seconds, which is roughly how long it takes to do one set before you sit down and you take a breath and you watch a bit of TV and you switch your music and you kind of getting a sip of your workout drink or whatever. Whereas in any given sport, a lot of the time you're in motion all the time, or you're kind of using energy all the time. So it's a completely different way of training when you're just expending an amount of energy in a very short amount of time, and then a lot of the time you're actually just sitting around.
Well, I think it's even worse for powerlifter, because if you think about bodybuilding, like sometimes I do crazy drop sets on like leg presses and shit like that, or benches, that like I literally end up by the end of the set doing like 100 reps, 80 reps, right? Because I load up the leg press and I go boom, 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 do my 8-10 reps, dropping it. So imagine as a powerlifter, if your task is only like singles and triples and whatnot, would you think it's even worse then?
Yeah, I think it probably is. I mean, I wouldn't say that powerlifting is any more admirable than bodybuilding. I think I just like the idea that at least you're challenging yourself in terms of a strength perspective. At least there's something to be said there for measuring yourself in terms of your strength. Whereas bodybuilding, you're really just measuring aesthetics, which is not really anything particularly athletic about that, I don't think.
What do you think, Nate?
I think Nate is frozen over here.
Nate is frozen. The train. Are you still on train?
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Going through a tunnel or something. Going through a tunnel or something, eh?
Yeah, maybe.
The London trains, huh?
Yeah.
What else do you guys want to talk to?
It's up to you, man. I mean, if you want to cover anything else, but I mean, we must have had like about an hour's worth of material if you're going to cut it up and put it on the channel or something. Are you recording all this, by the way?
Well, I don't know. I hope so. I believe that's my first Google Hangout, but apparently once you once I close this, it will upload the full video onto my YouTube channel.
Oh
As
wow.
It's private, and then I'll just cut it up and send you guys some of it. Sounds good?
Cool. Yeah. No, that sounds good. Man.
Also, we'll have to do it up sometime soon again, because that was lots of fun.
Yeah, man, that was cool. It was good to speak to you guys, man. It was really good to chat to you guys live. That's really, it was really good to do.
Just talk to the videos for the first time. Everybody gets to talk to each other.
Well, it's
man.
weird, right? Because on YouTube we see each other's videos and stuff, but we don't really interact talking. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, man, it's good.
Awesome, dudes. All right, man. So we'll let you guys go. Jay looks like he needs
It's breakfast time.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Probably needs to go change the diaper.
A brunch. It's brunch actually. Brunch time.
Fair enough, man. How's Howard? How's your wife and pregnancy and everything?
Oh, she's good, mate. She's really good. Yeah, I think she's in second trimester now, so I think she's in that kind of the good phase. Yeah, the good point. So yeah, she's doing well, man. She's doing good.
It's really exciting. All right, my
Thanks,
dudes.
man.
Thanks for coming by. We'll catch you guys soon.
All right,
Take care, guys. Good to chat.
you send
See ya.
that. Watch those games. How many football games we got going on right now?
I've only got the Niners game, and it's not pretty viewing, man. 13-0 down already.
Hey man, Niners man, they're done now.
I know, man. Not good.
Sad. All right.
Okay, Jake.
Peace.
All right.
See you, man.